Good morning, everyone. And thank you for taking the time out of your schedules to be with us today. It's my pleasure to introduce this Coface Country Risk Conference in Hong Kong. Country risk conferences are a tradition with Coface. We have done them for decades in France, where they usually gather over 1,000 people from different constituencies in the economy. And I know they've been going on here for 15 years in Hong Kong. We have taken this process through to our key markets around the world. And it's a pleasure for me for the first time to introduce this session here in Asia, which is dear to myself. I have lived over 3 years in Asia, working for another company before I joined Coface at the beginning of this year. I'd like to talk a little bit about what Coface does as a reminder. And I apologize to those of you who are very familiar with this industry. In case you find me boring, you have this little machine here. You can change the channel anytime. Just push the right button. Coface is one of the three global credit insurance companies. It was created 70 years ago. And since then, it has been a pioneer in expanding globally. Today, we have 50,000 clients in 100 countries. We take risks in 200 markets around the world, and we have over 500 billion euros of exposure in all of these markets. Coface is built on a very tight network of underwriters who analyze, structure, and evaluate the creditworthiness of companies, about 18 million different companies all over the world, and it works on a 24/7 basis. I think this is a very unique infrastructure that we put to work for our clients and partners all over the world. Just to describe the kind of services that you can get from Coface, it comes from obtaining credit information, and again, I think we probably have the best credit information in the industry at this stage. It's also a company that will insure, obviously, your payments and your receivables in all of these markets and protect against the volatility and the risk involved with growing a business internationally, which is and continues to be a key element for all of our prospects and clients around the world. It is also a company that will help you recover on debts when things don't go so well. And it's always more comfortable to outsource that process to a third party than to call on one of your regular customers and ask them for money in an aggressive way. Coface is, as I said, been a pioneer in expanding around the world. We have successfully replicated the model that has been initially created in Western Europe across markets in North and South America and all over Asia. I think this is something as part of our future that we want to continue to build upon, and we want to continue to expand. This is my third trip this year to Asia and my third time in Hong Kong, and I'm actually very pleased that we have this opportunity to continue to expand the company. I think more and more, if you are a mid-sized or even a small-sized company today, it is very hard to not be doing business across borders. It is, you are either going to buy, or going to sell something abroad, and Coface can help you solve that solution. We are clearly determined to continue to expand and continue to build our expertise around the world, particularly in Asia. So my presence here is a testimony to this, and I invite you to reach out to your Coface counterparts during the day or later if you need any help, as we will be continuing to develop our presence and continue to seek leadership in this business around the world. We have a great lineup of speakers today. This is an interesting time around the world. I think for the last 2 years, we have seen a lot of volatility around markets, particularly emerging markets. After the global financial crisis, the mature markets took a long time to recover, and I think to some extent they never completely recovered, so we are still seeing a lot of slow growth in Europe, better performance in the US, obviously. But I think in emerging markets in the last 2 years, although they have been relatively unscathed, throughout the global financial crisis, we have seen a significant slowdown, and a slowdown that is much deep and much more protracted than we've seen in the past. This has been driven by commodities, but by many other factors. And I would just point also to something new, I think, which is, or more important, which is political risk. And I did this conference 2 days ago in Tokyo, so I was talking about the upcoming U.S. elections. I think this has proven the point again, that we are less and less able to forecast what is going to happen. We have seen quite a few surprises this year, and I think there could be others coming. On that basis, we have major elections taking place in Europe, particularly next year, and we are seeing more and more volatility around the world, driven by finance, driven by politics, driven by economics. As such, I think our business is more important than ever, and is more than ever justified. So with that, I will leave it to the speakers, and thank you for participating today.